Kings and queens, your majesties. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated and appreciated. So there was a speech that Ibrahim Traore gave during the meeting with Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Okay, and he talked a lot about the relationship between Africa and Russia and some little history discussion. Now, the way Ibrahim is breaking grounds, the way he's making waves across the world, you begin to feel like this guy acts like an old man. He acts like someone who was already here before, and he's just coming back to repair that which he was unable to repair in his other life that he was existing here. You understand that? There are some people that will tell you that prior to them passing on, they'll tell you, I'm going to come back. And they're saying they're going to come back because they feel like they've not lived the life they needed to live, maybe because someone is trying to cut off their life or something. When you are into African spirituality and traditions, you understand what I'm saying. um there are times that our great grandfathers would tell you, I'm going to come back, and this is the reason why I'm going to come back. If I come back, this is what I'm going to do, this is that what I'm gonna do. And when you look at the life of Ibrahim, it's like it's a life of someone who had already existed in this world before, and he came back to repair that which he was unable to repair. And that is why a lot of people were saying that he is Thomas Sankara who is back. Okay, so I want us to listen to this speech. It's not too long, but it's gonna worth your time. And let's listen to this speech. Mind you, it is AI generated to English. Okay.
Now I give the floor to the transition president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. Please, Traore. Mr. Traore.
Comrade, President Vladimir Putin. Comrade, President, African Head of State. Comrade, Head of Delegation. Hello. It is an honor for me this morning to speak here and to pass on the fraternal greetings from the people of the country of honest men. This is also the place for me. First of all, I want to give thanks to God Almighty, who has allowed us to gather here this morning in good health to talk about the future and the well-being of our peoples. I want to apologize to the elders I might offend with my upcoming words. African identity demands the rights of birth. I must apologize. Comrades, I have a few questions from my generation. No one is a question we ask, but we have no answers. And it turns out that here we can air our dirty laundry because we feel like family. We feel like family in the sense that Russia is also a family for Africa. It's a family because we share the same history. Russia made enormous sacrifices to free the world from Nazism during World War II. The African peoples, our grandfathers, were also forcibly deported to help Europe get rid of Nazism. We share the same history in the sense that we are the forgotten peoples of the world. Whether in history books, documentaries, or films, we tend to overlook the significant role that Russia and Africa played. Right now, we are here to talk about the future of our peoples, of what will happen tomorrow, of this free world we aspire to, a world without interference in our internal affairs. We have the same perspectives, and I hope this summit will be an opportunity. So, to be able to build very good relationships for a better future for our peoples. The questions that my generation is asking are the following. If I can sum it up, it's not understanding how Africa, with so many riches beneath our soil, with a generous nature, of water, with abundant sunshine, Africa is today the poorest continent. Africa is a hungry continent. And how is it that our heads of state are traveling the world begging Here are some questions we are asking ourselves and for which we still have no answers. We have the opportunity to weave new relationships. And I hope that these relationships can be the best to provide a better future for our people. My generation also asked me to say that because of this poverty, they are forced to cross the ocean to try to reach Europe. They are dying in the ocean. But soon, they won't go across because they will come in front of our palaces to seek their daily bread. As for Burkina Faso, today we have been facing for more than 8 years, in the form of protest, the most barbaric, the most violent form of neocolonialism, of imperialism. Slavery still seeks to impose itself on us. Our ancestors taught us one thing well. The slave who is unable to take on their revolt does not deserve anyone to pity their fate. We do not seek pity for our fate. We do not ask anyone to pity our fate. The Burkinabe people have decided to fight against the hypocrisy that hinders their development. In this struggle, brave peoples, brave populations have committed themselves to take up arms against terrorism, what we have indeed called the VDP, the volunteers. We are surprised to see the imperialists label these VDP as militias and all sorts of things. It's disappointing, because in Europe, when people take up arms to defend their homeland, they are called patriots. Our grandfathers were deported to save Europe. It was not with their consent, against their will. Well, upon their return, we remember well that in Traore, when they wanted to claim their basic rights, they were massacred. It doesn't matter then. When we, the people, decide to defend ourselves, we are labeled as militias. But that's not the problem. What the problem is seeing African heads of state who bring nothing to these fighting peoples, but who sings the same tune as the imperialists, by calling us militias, by treating us as such, of men who do not respect human rights. What human rights are we talking about? We are outraged by this, and it's shameful. We, as African heads of state, need to stop behaving like puppets that dance every time the imperialists pull the strings. Yesterday, President Vladimir Putin announced the shipment of grains to Africa. We are very happy. We thank him for that. But also, it's a message sent to our African heads of state. Because at the next forum, we won't have to come here without having ensured, for those who are not familiar with the war, the food self-sufficiency of our peoples, we need to learn from the experiences of those who have already achieved this in Africa, to build good relationships here, and to forge better ties with the Russian Federation in order to meet the needs of our populations. I won't take too long. The time is limited and very short. We are forced to stop at some point, but I would like to conclude by saying that we must pay tribute to our peoples who are fighting. Glory to our peoples, dignity to our peoples, victory to our peoples. The homeland or death will conquer us. Thank you, comrades.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, Jean-Pierre, for your invaluable support and assistance. Your help has been truly appreciated, and I am sincerely thankful for everything you have done. I would like to draw your attention to the issue of Russia regarding Nazism.
The issue of Russia regarding Nazism. In the interests of the whole world to free people of Nazism, the struggle against apartheid and colonialism is not fought solely in the interests of Africa. This struggle leads to results that improve situations all around the world. It's the whole world that benefits from it. In this sense, I agree with Mr. Traore. It reminds us of what happened during the Soviet era. The struggle that the Soviet Union and Russia brought is part of the struggle of all peoples for freedom.
All right, Majesties, that was the information. And you know, while Ibrahim was talking, it was drawing my mind to different situation, different level of problems and everything, how the world had viewed Africa, okay? And, there was something he pointed out, which is something that resonates, and I want us to look into that a little bit, okay? A lot of things he pointed out, but when he said that, when other people take arms to protect themselves, they don't look at it as terrorism as what have you. They look at it as self-defense and whatever. But the moment the African take up arms to protect their interest and their people's interest, they call them juntas, they call them tyrants, they call them, remember the way mainstream media propagated the ideas of calling these Sahel leaders tyrants, juntas, and whatever. When it is Africans trying to liberate themselves is a problem. And the question will be that why should Ibrahim accept help from Russia and reject help from Europe and America and even Saudi? This question will run through the minds of people. Because he trusts Russia. Traore trusts Russia. Don't mind the age. It's the input. Like some African youths are saying, that they tell the Burkinabes, hold your president tight. Hold your president tight. If you mistakenly allow your president into our country, he's not coming back to you. Hey, we are going to arrest him. And as we are arresting him, he will become our president immediately. It sounds like a joke, but it has sent a message. And what is that message? That Ibrahim is the only leader in Africa right now that the African people, especially the youth, trust. Because they can see his transparency, they can see his hard work, they can see how he has his people at heart. This is why a youth or an African group of people would tell Burkinabe, I'm not talking about one country, I'm talking about people from different countries wishing that they have Ibrahim Traore as a president. Just look at when Ibrahim visited Ghana. You would think that it is Ibrahim that they are celebrating, not knowing that it's John Mahama. Just look at the crowd. Like, everybody went crazy. Everybody went crazy. The whole attention was drawn to him. And that is why the youths of different countries in Africa are saying to the Burkinabes, better treat your president well. Hold him very well. Tie him down. If he comes to our region, we are kidnapping him. And as we are kidnapping him, we will swear him in as the president of our nation. Would you not do that if you were the one? Just imagine that you see Ibrahim Traore somewhere, you go and catch him. You catch him and hide him. You can make him your president by force. So the whole of Africa right now are rooting for Ibrahim Traore. They are happy to have Ibrahim Traore. Even though he is not in all the country at once, but what he is doing in his country is sending shockwaves. Like I told you, that the change that have started in the Sahel, that wind of change, will gradually move to other parts of the world, especially other parts of Africa first before the world, of course. What do you think? Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive always. Your Majesties. Bye for now.